It's a busy Sunday night. Wow. Internet exploding, social media exploding regarding the case of baby Emmanuel. Reports that he's been found. A lot of reports that he's been found. He hasn't been found. Right now, the latest reporting is that baby Emmanuel has not been found, but there are incredibly huge developments in the case, and it looks like everything is indicating that the father, Jake Harrow, is cooperating. Yes, the father cooperating. By the way, he's done this before. So we've got a lot to talk about. It's a special Sunday night live edition of Vinny Live. Great to have you aboard. Get ready. Get set. This is Vinny Live.
Get ready. Get set. Let's go.
It's true crime. Streaming live. Worldwide. It's Vinny Live. It's true crime. Streaming live. Worldwide. It's Vinny Live. Get ready to post inside the chat. Get ready for the prosecutor hat. Get set to like and to subscribe. Let's go. It's time for Vinny Live.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. A lot of huge development. It's just been boom, bam, bing, bong, boom. Great to have you with me. We're going to get to a lot of the comments tonight as the conversation heats up in the case of baby Emmanuel. So the question mark is there because there are reports that he was found, but one report right now just being posted a couple of seconds ago, it looks like KTLA, this is someone reporting what KTLA is saying, Joseph Morris, but KTLA said this afternoon search was wrapping up and Emmanuel's remains were not located. But this picture tells the story. This picture tells the story of what is actually happening and why this is so significant. So significant. Jake Harrow cooperating. So you just look at the topography of this area. Now, did they just toss the baby? Did they wrap the baby? Did they bury the baby? How exactly was the baby disposed of by mom and dad, allegedly here? There's so many animals. There's so much wildlife in that part of the country. Coyote and others. So, yeah. But if you look at this area, you look, two things this picture tells you. Three things. One, Jake Harrow, we know he's under arrest. Two, he's not in jail. He is on the side of high freeway, I guess they call it Freeway 60 in the valley. And you've got two members of law enforcement with him, but you have others that are there searching for baby Emmanuel. Now he has not been found. This is the same photo, right? The same officers here. Another photo. This was Sanovicta on TikTok spotted what was happening on the side of the road. You know, it's not like they announce it. They just do their work. And then someone sees it, word spreads, and everybody ends up there. But how deep into the area did they go? And why did they not locate him? Because KTLA reporting that they're wrapping up the search for today. But if they're wrapping up the search for today, it's because it's the end of the day, and they'll begin first thing in the morning. But yeah, a lot of activity on the side of the road. A lot of you probably, or maybe you haven't seen him, but he was on my show, on the Tira, Ahmed Belozo, who is a local citizen journalist out there. Take a look at what he reported earlier.
Had the story that Jake had confessed, but we were waiting for this to break, and now we have footage 1080 Ahmed Belloso, we have found Emmanuel, homie.
Okay. Take you through the whole thing.
That is today, it has now lived up. The California Highway Patrol is here. The investigators are here. We got more police throughout here, right along Gilman Springs Road. Jake was here. He confessed. We already had the story that Jake had confessed, but we were waiting for this to break, and now we have footage 1080. Ahmed Belloso, we have found Emmanuel, homie.
Okay. Well, KTLA reporting that they did not find him yet, but they're in the area where they would search to find him. A couple of things from this that I just want to point out. Right here, the area. So it looks like you can access that area, and it kind of takes you in. So the question is, how far in did they go? Did they go with a shovel? Or did they just wrap them and toss them? That's everything. The confession, there are different types of confessions. The question I've had would be, number one, did he already strike a deal to lead them here? Did he strike a deal to lead them here? We know he's got a lawyer. Lawyer's not going to let him talk for nothing, right? You're not going to, yeah. But the lawyer also knows the first one to get to investigators gets the deal, right? So, what did he confess to? Did he confess to red rum, or did he perhaps confess to something less? Right? Don't forget what we were talking about on the Tangent podcast. Al brought this up, and I thought it was the best point of the whole podcast. Is like, okay, if they do go to strike a deal and do admit to something, or this thing goes to trial, what exactly is the story going to be? The story could be that an accident happened and we panicked, right? An accident happened, we panicked. We thought that because Jake already had these charges and was on probation, they wouldn't believe you, so they panicked and they did what they did, made up the story. So I think there's been a confession at a minimum to making up the story. Has there been confession to red rum? Has there been a confession to an accident? That's not clear. Has there been a confession to disposing of the body? That appears, just from this, putting your context clues together, making a circumstantial case for that. I would say yes, based upon what we've seen. If he's here, then he's at least admitting to having disposed of the body in this area, or knowing that the body was disposed in this area. So all of this speaks volumes tonight. But officials apparently confirming to KTLA that the search was wrapping up and his remains were not located. Now, my guess is they've been very good about this. San Bernardino has, about posting on this stuff. So I'm keeping my eye on any official word. So they still have nothing past the arrest from 2 days ago. So I'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that. But the headline tonight, everyone's talking about, was the baby found? No, there's been no official report that the baby has been found. And the only reporting out there right now, apparently, is KTLA saying that they're wrapping up without having found baby Emmanuel tonight. But obviously, this is huge. And here's on the theater getting the image of Jake on the scene, right? So he's locked up, he's in custody, he's been charged, but there's some level of cooperation here. This is enormous amount of cooperation, but don't forget, he has a lawyer. Okay? So you have a lawyer, you're cooperating, you're getting something, right? You had to get a deal. You don't play your whole hand without getting something in exchange. So I think that's clearly where we are tonight, that some deal has been struck, some level of cooperation. That's huge, but again, pull it back. What has he admitted to? What has he gotten in exchange? And what about Rebecca? What about Rebecca? Now, are investigators I don't know what he said. Did he point the finger at Rebecca? Because my guess is, that's very possible. That's what he did last time he got in trouble, and his case got strung out for 5 years, and he got a slap on the wrist. Then, of course, had another baby, and now this has happened. But is he going to point the finger at Rebecca and say it was Rebecca that did it? It was Rebecca. It was Rebecca. And I'm on probation. I felt like I would get blamed, and I didn't want to get in trouble. So, we did what we did. So this is enormous development tonight. Okay. All right. So, and this is as close as you're going to get. Now, are they going to, they have to be able to, if he's taking them to the correct area, right? They're going to recover the body, but we don't know. Was it done at nighttime? So you don't know exactly where. And again, how was Emmanuel left there on the side? Right? That is indeed the question. How did they leave it? The scene. Did they secure the child, give the child some level of a burial? Because if not, it may be difficult to recover the remains. It may be difficult to recover the remains if the baby was just left there, right? Was there clothing? Was the baby wrapped? Was the baby buried? How deep was the baby buried? Did they do it during the day? Did they do it at night? Those are the important questions right now. Let's see what some more of see what's happening out there. Okay. I think there's a big question right now about okay, let's see the full story. The father assisted investigators Sunday in Moreno Valley in search of the child. Authorities in both San Bernardino and Riverside counties launched an extensive search on August 14th. Yeah, but that's they take these articles and they bring in old stuff. They have to tell the whole story. Jake was seen in the prison jumpsuit near 60 Freeway and Gilman Springs Road. There were cadaver dogs there. Sheriff's officials confirmed to KTLA that the afternoon search was wrapping up and the 7-month-old remains were not located. So it's wrapping up for today. It means it'll continue tomorrow. Just sending some notes out here. Yeah, they had a big crew out there. On the search today. Wow. Big crew. I'm just looking at some of the images. I'm going to put up a few more images from the scene today in a second. But they had, it looks like it was a pretty large search. I mean, if you're getting firsthand information from the person potentially responsible for placing the child there, you got to wonder why they didn't find Emmanuel today. And trust me, he's not going to give bad information, I don't think, because he's going to want the best deal possible. Right? He's going to want the best deal possible. You get some idea of what was happening here. I'm going to put these up 1 second. Yeah, this was not a tiny effort. A couple of guys out there. They had a team out there, but they're going to need more. It depends how deep they went in, right? That's, to me, that's really significant. And how much does he actually remember about this? And it's one of those like grid-like searches is what it looks like. So he may not know exactly where they went, right? If it was if it was in a panic mode, if it was, all right, let me get some of the more of these images so we have a better idea of what was happening. So it looks like there's a road that goes into that area. So did they drive into that area? They may very well have. They may very well have. And if they drove in there, who knows how far they could have gone? This search is going to be pretty intense, is my guess. Like, if you're just getting the information today, maybe you got a late start. My guess is they will start early tomorrow morning and have a much more intense search. You'll probably get cooperation from different places, and folks would love to, help out. Other organizations will want to help out. And I think what you have to do is, this doesn't become a citizen search at this point. This becomes a law enforcement search, because during the course of the search, whoever discovers that, you have to preserve the scene, number one. Number two, whoever is going to find the child likely will be a witness if there's a trial. So it's a lot. It's a lot. So a lot of reports coming out that the child was found, not found, according to KTLA, quoting the sheriff's office, that he was cooperating. The search is wrapping up for the day. The search is wrapping up for the day. Give you some more idea of what the scene looked like. And the geography and the wildlife and everything else plays a role in all this, plus the heat. Don't forget, this is the desert. This is like a desert valley. So, trying to deal with the elements, right? So the searchers have to deal with the elements, but the remains also dealing with the elements. So this is not going to necessarily be an easy recovery. And what was the state of Emmanuel when he was left there? Incredibly important. Incredibly important. Let me get another image up. This is, Sometimes it's difficult. You're searching in an area of any sort of extreme weather makes everything much more complicated for everyone involved. Here's what it looked like on the side of the highway. And you have to think back to when the baby was deposited there, right? So when Emmanuel is deposited there, they got to pull off the highway, make sure no one's following them, and then maybe drive down that dirt road, however far they were going to go. And then, what was the status of baby Emmanuel at that moment? How long ago was it? Was it days ago, weeks ago? Was it months ago? I don't know. I haven't heard any members of the family come out and say, "Oh yeah, we saw Emmanuel on so and so day." Right? I haven't heard that. Have you heard that? I haven't heard that. So proof of life, for the timeline, we've been talking about that since the beginning. Here's DKGB 2014 $4.99. Rebecca is covering. Providing false location was his way of getting transferred. So is the gossip. Okay. Is it a false location? I don't necessarily believe it's a false location yet, despite the search today, because of timeline issues, because of the status of the remains, the terrain, and we don't know how exactly Emmanuel was left. But if this is true, this is not smart. Like, this is not smart at all. He has representation. Jake Harrow has representation. So anything and everything he does, my guess would be in conjunction with his lawyer, who I believe likely represented him on the last time he got in trouble, and he ended up doing pretty well for himself for what happened to his little girl. So no lawyer in his right mind is going to allow his client to provide false information at this point where he's already been charged with red rum. So that would be extremely, you can lie to your lawyer, right? But that would be so wrong. This is the only chip he has. The only chip you have is providing this information and then providing the information on what happened to little Emmanuel. And securing the deal now, not later. The quicker you get it, the better the deal is for the most part. Thank you so much, DKGB 2014. The gossip may very well be true, but if the gossip is true, then it's a major mistake by Jake. All right. And live streaming on Facebook, on YouTube, Twitch, and X. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on this Sunday night. Trying to see if the San Bernardino has been very good, the sheriff, about providing updates and information. And my guess is maybe at some point they will provide just sort of a wrap up of today, because all along they've been doing it. Now Riverside's been working with them. Okay, we've got it. You ready? I've got it. We've got the latest update. This afternoon, a search for Emmanuel was conducted alongside the westbound shoulder of the 60 freeway near Gilman Springs Road in Moreno Valley. Investigators were assisted by cadaver dogs. Jake Harrow was at the location with detectives. The search has concluded and Emmanuel was not located. The investigation to find Emmanuel continues. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The investigation continues. Now, didn't say he was cooperating, but he's there, right? They can't take him there if he's not allowing them to take him there. They can't talk to him. They can't communicate with him without the blessings of his lawyer. because he's already been charged and he has representation. So you can't do that. If you do that, if you do that and you obtain any evidence as a result of that, that evidence becomes inadmissible. So they're clearly working with his lawyer, and there is some level of cooperation. There absolutely is some level of cooperation. You got to play the cards that you have, and it's the only card that he does have, right? It's the only card that he does have at this point. But let me put it up on the screen so you all can see it also. This is the official update, which is very consistent with what we've been what's been reported. This will be the official. All right, so let me put that up on the screen for you so you all can see it. This is from the sheriff. This afternoon, again, I'll read it again. A search for Emmanuel Harrow was conducted along the westbound shoulder of the 60 freeway near Gilman Springs Road in Moreno Valley. Investigators were assisted by cadaver dogs. Jake Harrow was at the location with detectives. The search has concluded, and Emmanuel was not located. Now, when we say the search has concluded, that's a powerful phrase, right? Does that mean you're not going back tomorrow? I would be shocked. I would be shocked if you didn't go back tomorrow. And Emmanuel was not located. The investigation to find Emmanuel continues. Big update. Huge update, right? So the reports of the child being found premature, but it seems imminent. He's there. They've told us that he was there. Jake Harrow was at the location with detectives. At this stage, that only happens one way, right? If there were no charges and he didn't have a lawyer, all right, they have to get him out of the jail. You want to speak with him. You want to get information from him. The lawyer is going to be involved. Otherwise, it becomes risky behavior by investigators, because it's not just the evidence you get, but the evidence any sort of evidence that flows from these statements, you don't want to lose out on. DKBB are back with us, 2014. These are sick people. The sister knows more. Well, what else do family members know, right? Obviously, they have no incentive to come forward and volunteer information because they're not charged with anything. So they likely would not come forward necessarily. Jason Jensen, my friend, a coyote ran off with the remains. Yeah, that's very, 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 very possible. Very possible that could in fact be what is happening here. There's a ton of them there. They're all over the place, right? Now, there's also been reports, right, that they were looking to buy a saw. I don't even want to get into this discussion, but if Emmanuel was deposited in pieces, I don't know how you could even think of doing that. It is so. But if that's the case, in smaller pieces and was scattered, you might not ever find anything. That is sick. That is so sick. But even a 7-month-old is not large. Is not large at all. So this is very, if Emmanuel wasn't buried, then, was there clothing? Will you be able to find clothing? Clothing will have DNA on it. But how far would a coyote run off with it? Run off with the baby? XJTAC just jumping in, reports they didn't find him. Yep, correctamundo. And it's not even reports at this point. It's from the sheriff himself. So, JGA Texas, did Jake dispose of Emmanuel alone or with Rebecca? That's a huge question. Huge question. That's a big issue. What is she saying right now? Does she even have a lawyer? See, this is what we were talking about on the Tangent podcast. He has a lawyer and had a lawyer. The lawyer was just representing one of them. And that's like giving Jake a head start in the race to cooperate and to get a deal. She's not in a position until she has a lawyer to cooperate. Like, is she going to strike a deal on her own? Probably not. Probably not. And this is another good one from Bodachina. Did Jake admit to it, or is he saying he knows where the baby was put by Rebecca? Right. But are you going to play games at this point? Are you going to play games? You've got to be careful with the games you play at this point. You really do, especially with his history. Now, I think Al hit the nail on the head on the Tangent Podcast Friday, that the story is going to be some sort of an accident, something, right? That's not red rum. And then there was a level of panic. But if you're not going to be like, there's different levels of being truthful here, right? So is he going to lie about how and where Emmanuel was left? I think that is playing with absolute fire here. Fire. That is playing with fire in this case. So I don't think that's happening. But thank you, Bodachina. Michelle L. 2773. Thank you for the updates, Vinny. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. We've got a bunch of folks watching tonight on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. Thank you for joining. Over 7,000 right now. Here's Sandra Herbert, 4072. Ooh, not liking him. Of course, he's trying to get a deal. Look what he did to his 10-week-old. I think the wife was abused. Not an excuse. Bless the baby. Yeah, well, that's going to be interesting, right? I don't see a unified front here. The black eye came from somewhere. Where did the black eye come from? We know it didn't come from Ola Man. Ola Man, that's out. That's gone now. Ola Man is gone. Never. Well, you may hear about it at a trial, but Ola Man is not part of the reality of what happened here. Is she his victim? And, will she now come forward? Will it be a battle of the stories? Like, is it possible that they both agree to cooperate but tell different stories? Then what do you do as a prosecutor? Let me put on my prosecutor hat. I knew I'd have to put it on tonight. I got the prosecutor hat on tonight. Okay, I got two sides coming here and cooperating at the same time. What am I going to do with that? Well, I'm going to need some level of corroboration of your stories. If your stories are different, you need to provide for me some level of corroboration. Can that come through something that was told to a third party? Would that come through physical evidence? Will that come through recovering the body, showing me what was used to dispose of the body? All those specifics. So that's why in this battle, he doesn't know what she's saying. She doesn't know what he's saying. And if they're saying different things, me as the prosecutor, I can figure out who's telling the truth. And what kind of a deal. And any deal that I give to them may be predicated upon certain things they're alleging coming to fruition, like the location of baby Emmanuel. So to me, if two sides are speaking and they're telling me different stories, it's about, well, whose story is backed up by something independent of the words spewing out of their mouths. Now, sometimes, just leading to the body can get you a deal, but that's in third party cases, right? Where an outsider has done something to the parent's child, and the parents are like, we just want our child back, and we want to bury our child. And in that case, you're going to get a deal just for leading to the body. But here, if you're the parent and you're leading to the body, that, to me, that's more about corroborating your story than about getting you a deal. Like, yeah, prosecutors want the baby. Yes, they want to recover the remains, but it doesn't carry the same weight as when a prosecutor has grieving parents who want to bury their child, right? Here, they didn't want to bury their child. They're responsible for what happened here. So that's the difference in this case and others where a child is missing or a body is being searched for. Scrolling through here. If you're just joining us, the breaking news all over social media was Jake Harrow, and this is on the theater, was there, was at the scene and was leading investigators to the body. And then everyone was like, the body's been found. And I said, was the body found? Was the body found? I think it will be. But it has not yet, because we've gotten official word tonight from the San Bernardino County Sheriff that the search happened this afternoon. Okay, so it's a half-day search. You going to give up in half a day? You're going to give up in half a day, or are you going to gear up for Monday morning and have your crew, have the crew from surrounding areas, have volunteer members of law enforcement come down and just incredible grid search? You're going to put drones up in the air. You're going to do everything. So I think that my guess is that's what happens tomorrow when they begin the search anew in this area. Unless they came to a conclusion quickly that he lied to them, but I don't think so. But like Jason Jensen, a great investigator from Utah, has been on my show many, many, many times, says coyotes, 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 and it's real, and they, the remains could be moved. And how far can a coyote take remains? Probably very far would be my guess. And here's what Chris Creations 123. I heard he's not been seen by family members for a month. That wouldn't shock me. Cal City Toddlers, it was 3 months. 3 months for the Cal City Toddlers. They were never found. But there was never any cooperation. So I think there's a better chance here than with Cal City. And XJ Tack, thank you very much. I bet this happened weeks or months ago. Some of the family did not know they had smothered kid, no hospital records, no birth certificate, nothing. Wow. That's wild. I don't understand people. I just don't understand people. All right, let's see. Let's see. Gonzalez. Cynthia Menis Keel over on Facebook. Give me 5 minutes with both of these child killers. We know how, I mean, it's a real thing, how they're treated behind bars. So there are going to be major concerns, more so for him than her. It doesn't happen to female child killers. I don't know why. But it does to men. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Scrolling through here. Big night tonight. Justice Jane sending out a lot of hearts tonight to Emmanuel. God is with us. It's brutal. It's brutal. I don't think any of us can understand this. All right. 713 Manchi saying he is a DJ and a lawyer. He ain't that good. Okay. Confession. You ready? Let me see if I can do this. I'll take a 1 second. Just give me 1 second. You're going to enjoy this, folks. All right. I took a photo. I'm going to put this photo up on the screen for you in just 1 second. I just have to do this. 1 second. But thank you, 7. Yeah, Vincent Hughes is the lawyer. I think he represented him on the first case. And if he did, I mean, he got a sweet deal for his last case. Like, it was a ridiculous deal, I thought. But he did for what happened to his baby girl. So, okay. We're just moments away, folks. I was not expecting to have to do this tonight, but I'm going to have to. There we go. Let me get back on with you. All right, let me show you another image here real quick. This is an important one. All right. All right, where I'm streaming from right here, that is just to my right here in my home studio. I too am a DJ and a lawyer, 713 Manchi. And those are my turntables, my mixer, my little speakers. You can see in the upper right over there where I have some of my records. So I'm a DJ. So you can be a good lawyer and still be a DJ. Okay. You can be a good lawyer and a DJ. When I was working at the prosecutor's office, I also DJ'd our Christmas party for the prosecutor's office. So they're not mutually, you can be a good DJ and a good lawyer at the same time. His name is Vincent. I'm Vinny. I'm Vincent also. Thank you, 713. Just having a little fun tonight. Trying to. These cases are brutal, but it is what it is. Gen X, explaining we're going through the information, figuring everything out. Yeah, I don't know necessarily what what the communications were, what the deal was, but you've got the lawyer from the prosecutor's perspective, right? I'm giving it to you from the prosecutor's perspective. You are not going to speak to an inmate, speak to a suspect, speak to a defendant. You're going to speak through the lawyer, and then any lawyer, to avoid malpractice and everything else, is going to get, is to give, you got to get, to give, you got to get, whether it's a proffer, and then it's contingent upon them finding the child, and the proffer can't be used against you. It could have been a deal like that. You could say, all right, I have a proffer, and then the information is delivered by the lawyer. He'll take you there. He'll take you to a spot. In exchange, when you find the child, he gets X, Y, and Z. But if you don't find the child, this can not be used against him, right? You can get a deal like that. And that may have been what happened here. By the way, Gen X, a member of our world famous Mod Squad, the best of the best. Just as I have a moment here, I'm going to give you the world premiere. Are you ready? This is a world premiere, ladies and gentlemen. Gen X, of course, a member of our world famous Mod Squad.
We are the Mod Squad, keeping order in the chat. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad, spotting trolls who attack. The Mod Squad, oh, Gen X is ready and on the scene. Frankie Figs making sure they're keeping it clean. Jennifer Soubey telling haters don't be so mean. And Ashley Bouchard on top of our Facebook screen. We are the Mod Squad, cleaning up the mess. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad, simply the best. The Mod Squad, the Mod Squad.
All right, let's hear it for our Mod Squad working hard on a Sunday night. As a matter of fact, Ashley Bouchard sent me a little tip about what was going on out there. So appreciate it. They do amazing work, and they are simply the best, the Mod Squad. They had no idea what I was cooking up there, but I cooked that up for them. Anyhow, because they do so much for me and for us. Now let's go back. I'll show you the tira again.
Jake was here. He confessed. We already had the story planned that this today. It has now lived up. The California Highway Patrol is here. The investigators are here. We got more police throughout here, right along Gilman Springs Road. Jake was here. He confessed. We already had the story that Jake had confessed, but we were waiting for this to break. And now we have footage 1080. Ahmed Belloso, we have found Emmanuel, homie.
Yep, Ahmed on the tira has been killing it on this story, and his information has panned out again and again and again about the confession. Now, what's see? Confession is a very specific word and can live in different ways, right? It doesn't necessarily mean he confessed to what he's charged with. He can confess to disposing of a body. He can confess that the story was made up. He can confess that something happened to Emmanuel while he was in their care. How specific did he get? What level of admission did he make is the question. But you don't end up on the side of Freeway 60 near Gilman Springs Road in Moreno Valley without some level of admission, right? And you don't do it if you're not getting something in exchange. And it may be contingent upon finding the child. It may be contingent. JTAC, stupid spell check, another, not smother. Yeah, another child, right? So they're saying that, so you're saying that the family didn't even know they had another little baby, which is crazy. This is all crazy. Was the baby born in the hospital, for goodness sake? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Thanks so much. All right. Let's see who else. Just scrolling through here. Ginny, Empire State. This is incredibly sad. They have to pay no deals. Well, what you know, the deals are contingent upon what investigators and prosecutors need. Without the child, it becomes very challenging. Without the forensic information that you can get from little Emmanuel's remains becomes important. Now, depending upon how long ago it was, right? If it's a month or more, it may be difficult to find the remains, depending upon how they were deposited. But I go back to the case down in Orange County, Florida, involving Kaylee Marie Anthony. It took so long to find those remains that there was very little evidence that they were able to take away from the remains. There was one important piece that I thought was very persuasive to me, which was her hair in duct tape in the hair, lining up to cover the mouth. I mean, it was brutal. It was brutal. It was horrible. It was horrific. It was the worst of the worst. Jury wasn't convinced, right? But all the information about cause and manner of death dissipates and disappears very quickly, especially when you're in the desert. Now, Kelly Marie was down in Orlando, Florida, and it was the summertime. It was the heat, but there was also torrential rains and nature attacks very quickly. So those are all my concerns about why you may cut a deal. Why you may cut a deal. Because you want that forensic information sooner rather than later. Also, one person provides the inside information on what happened, but it's got to be corroborated. Question is, will they both come forward? I mean, with all this chatter now, it's going to be clear to Rebecca that Jake is cooperating. Like, you're going to get word of mouth. All she has to do is call her mom or her sister or somebody. Jake's cooperating. He took him to, Highway 60. Like, she's going to know. She's going to know. Those conversations will be recorded, but she's going to know. Okay, I want to put this up. This is from Stan Strong 101. Is there a chance this is where he wanted to search if the baby was kidnapped? Babies who are kidnapped, especially that young, 7 months. If a 7-month-old is kidnapped, that baby is now a commodity, right? Like, most of the cases we've covered, it's usually by a woman who wants to be a mother. The other scenario is to be trafficked and sold to someone who wants a baby, right? Those are the two scenarios. And under most of those scenarios, the baby is going to live, because a baby 7 months is going to have no memory of anything. So the baby only knows what the baby experiences probably from like age 4 on, right? You might have some memories from 3, maybe have some from 2, maybe, but not really. But that's what the baby, a 7-month is not going to remember anything. So that baby can become very valuable on the black market, or it could be for someone who wants to raise a child, who for whatever reason, whatever their circumstance is. That's why I don't think if the baby's kidnapped that the baby's going to be a victim of red rum. And then, I don't see that happening. Gringa L, was it reported that Jake led Ellie to that spot? Not just reported. Now it's been confirmed by Sam Bernardino that Jake Harrow was at the location with detectives. He's only there if he's the one providing the information on the location. That's the only reason. Now, don't forget, Jake has the history of cooperating. He did it in the first case with his daughter. And he pointed the finger at his wife of the time. So that's likely what's happening again. It worked for him the first time. Got the wrist slap. Not going to get the wrist slap in this one. You know what? This case is too high profile, number one, and this case is a homicide. First case was not a homicide. It was bad, really bad, but not a homicide. So you're not going to get a slap. There's no way he walks away with a slap on the wrist under these circumstances, unless he points the finger solely at mom and then mom admits it. But that's not happening. So, that's not happening. I want to thank everyone for joining us. We've got we're live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. You got over 8,000 folks watching right now. Appreciate each and every one of you. If you're on YouTube, on the count of three, please hit the like button. 1, 2, 3. Boom. Thank you so much. If you're on Facebook, please share it on 3. And also, do we still like on Facebook? Maybe it's a thumbs up on 3. 1, 2, 3 on Facebook. Excellent. All right. On Twitch, same thing. 1, 2, 3. And on X, 1, 2, 3. Here we go. Thank you, everyone. It's appreciated. All right. And DKGB 2014 back. Does it not say something? Jake is the one to show the location, not Rebecca. Is it true they scoped out the Big 5 parking lot for cameras beforehand? That's what the reporting is. Reporting of that, not coming from the sheriff, but that's the reporting that they went to the Big 5 beforehand and allegedly asked about security cameras, saying, oh, our car was broken into. And it was a while ago that this allegedly happened. So if that's the case, then they both were there. Then both of them are part and parcel of this. But what are the circumstances? Because if someone is responsible for the death of this child, I don't think it's both of them, right? I don't think it's one or the other. If it's done on purpose or if it's something that happens under their care. Unless both of them left him strapped in the back of a hot car, right? Whatever it is, like if under that circumstances, if it's like an accident or something, both of them could be responsible for doing it. If they're both going somewhere and leave him somewhere, if they both are getting high or something, whatever the circumstances are, right? But if it's purposeful conduct, like shaking, or hitting or rage involved, that is likely one of them responsible. If it's DV, it's likely one of them responsible. So what is each of their roles in that? And would Jake, if he's coming through or coming forward, would he tell the truth about it? Can they corroborate that it's the truth? Will she come forward with a different story? And will it be the battle of the stories? You don't see that often, the battle of the stories. But it's possible, I believe, in this case, which would make things a little more complicated for prosecutors and investigators. Osmond 187. Rebecca looks really bad right now. Just this morning, she said he wouldn't harm their child and she will never stop searching for their baby. She's sticking to the story. But she's going to find out about what happened today. There's no way it doesn't leak. There's no way she doesn't get wind of this. And the fact that he is physically there confirms that he is chatting. Thank you, Osmond 187. Marie Aurora 16. I can't get over the fact that Jake was still allowed around children despite the permanent damage he caused to one of his other children. So he's on probation. Could you make that a condition of probation to not be a parent again? His case wasn't resolved till 2023, by the way. That's an interesting one, right? Like telling someone you can't have a child. Or if you have a child, you can't be a part of that child's life going forward. I guess you could attempt to make that a condition of probation, but it's not like being on the SA registry, right? It's a different, it's going to a different place, prohibiting someone from becoming a parent or being a parent in a child's life. I don't know if a judge has that much power. But I guess parties can agree to whatever they want to agree to. You can attempt to make it a condition as a prosecutor or a judge saying, I'm not going along with this unless he agrees to this. Like it could potentially be part of it. But he was. All right. Pink Sleuth is talking about there's too much blood of Emmanuel's for it to be an accident. Okay. If there's blood evidence, then then we are talking about some level of purposeful conduct. Because a 7-month-old can't slip and fall. All the 7-month can't do any of that. Can't do any of that. And for a simple accident to happen, and if in fact there's a lot of blood, then that doesn't add up. You're getting into a mens rea of conduct that is done on purpose. Thank you, Pink Sleuth, watching on YouTube tonight. By the way, folks, I'm just going to, how far behind am I? Oh, wow. I'm 25 minutes behind in the chat. 25 minutes. Peter J, 1971 with us again. Great to see you, Peter J. Exit 114. Loving it, Homedale. I remember now that you reminded me. Oh, look at that. Mad Miss Hatter. Vinny looking dapper in that hat coming from Mad Miss Hatter. That's the prosecutor hat. Thank you so much. I'm going to try to scroll here just to get more current so the comments will be relative to the conversation. Sherry Lynn, he is so going to throw her under the bus to save. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Honor among thieves, honor among, red rummers doesn't exist. Mary Russo also on Facebook tonight. Facebook killing it tonight. We got a lot of folks on Facebook watching and a lot on YouTube. My heart is breaking with each post. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Mary. I think everyone's hearts are breaking now, but once they were, here we go. Vinny, look up her interview from this morning. So she did a jailhouse interview. That's fascinating that she would do that. Fascinating that she would do that. Thank you. What's the name there? That is Allison Cavan. Allison Cavan. I thought it was Alice on, but it's not. It's Allison Cavan 1207. Wow. Thank you so much. Yeah, if she's giving that interview this morning and then she gets blindsided this afternoon by his cooperation, that's wow. Mm-hmm. Let's see. All right. I'm just going to, again, I'm scrolling, trying to get closer and closer to current comments. Happy days. 78057. Both of the parents' families know that Jake nearly killed his other child. So if they suddenly can't find his new baby, are we all going to act naive? Exactly. There's a documented history here. It's not rumor. It's documented. It's actual. It's real. It's wild. Here we go. DJ Soft Cherry. I am a DJ and crimes against children investigator. Fantastic. Love the photo. Love the white headphones. Now, are you working vinyl there, or are you doing some of that high-tech digital mixing? Great to see a DJ. And this and kindness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great point. When was Emmanuel last seen? I've been saying this from the beginning. This is the most important factor. Trying to put together a timeline that would help you figure out what happened. But if you've got cooperation, you should be able to tighten up that timeline very, very, very quickly. Very quickly. All right, let's see. Carol J. I thought, Vinny working live on Sunday night. Love watching you. You're dedicated to giving us all the information on these cases. Love watching you. Thank you, Carol J. Yeah. And my rule here on the stream basically is I stream when I can, and I can right now. And I'll probably stream a little bit more these days because my knee is not 100%. I'm going to have surgery soon. So I've slowed down on my sports right now. So my life is like, sports, work, family, all that takes up, time each and every day, feeding myself, eating, sleeping, watching the Mets lose takes up way too much of my time. But thank you, Carol J. Yeah, it is a Sunday night. Oh, by the way, I've got one of the products from the True Crime merch shop. And last stream, we premiered the new spot for the True Crime merch shop. So while I run upstairs real quick, I have to get something. Don't forget, you can get a shirt like this or some of our hoodies and other items.
Shirt and a hoodie, a beach towel and a mug. A new design from Vinny is better than a drug. True crime merch, you know he did it. True crime merch, mark the exhibit. True crime merch, we hate Casey. True crime merch from Vinny originally. Our tangent stuff is great, unlike any others. Buy it now, don't wait. Perfect for all you mothers. True crime merch, allegedly. True crime merch, stepped on a bee. True crime merch, it's not free. True crime merch from Vinny originally.
Back just in time. The Vinny Originale shop. You can get my True Crime merch. All those designs. By the way, I'll be at CrimeCon. Whoever's going to CrimeCon, I'll be there. Alan Jonesy from the Tangents will be there also. But Court TV's got a huge booth. We'll be on Creator Row with the Tangents as well. And I think on Saturday, I'm doing a panel with the folks from Tenderfoot. So that's awesome. So that's going to be pretty fascinating. That's coming up not next week, the week after Labor Day, that Friday, Saturday, Sunday out in Denver. Although I think it's actually in Aurora. Oh, look who's here tonight, folks.
Time to get happy. It's time to get funky. It's time for us to smile. Because here comes Max Spunky.
Nick Spunky on a Sunday night. Thank you, sir. Great to have you aboard. And I think his comment was referencing the Mod Squad song, the new Mod Squad mix. All right, DKGB 2014. Jake spent one night in custody for his daughter. Oh, that was it. Oh, he had work release, right? Work release. Yeah, it's a joke. It's a joke. He got away with it. And that's why deterrence is an important part of our system. So the headline tonight, baby Emmanuel found. Not yet, but it seems like this is imminent. The search is wrapped up for the day, but Jake Harrow was there. He was in his orange outfit with detectives. There was a huge number of searchers out there today, but I think it's going to be much larger tomorrow. But there he was. You can see the detectives. He was in custody. The folks in orange there. And then everybody pulling over. So it started as just all the people doing the search pulling over. And then, the streamers were there. I think tomorrow, this is the way I think it's going to play out tomorrow. is that you've got, this is what they could put together this afternoon once they got word that he was going to take them to the area, right? Take them to the spot. They weren't successful. So now they got to go back. You're going to go back with a huge, huge search party. Like, this is big, but you're going to have much more, because I think you're going to have other departments are going to volunteer their services. You get the drones up in the air. Maybe you get some of those ATVs going, and you're going to try to figure out where this child is. It's sad, it's tragic, but this is where we are in the case, and I think we all knew this is where we were going in this case. I think we all knew this is where it was going to end up. Folks, love the Mod Squad song. Love the Mod Squad and the song. Linda Howard, 454, thank you. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, this was a scary moment the other day. Thank you, Nana Pam, 1267. Ahmad on the tira, passed out from the heat. He's going through chemo, and a police officer, they got him, and he went right back on, going live after that. He was on my show. Was it the night before? I think the night before he was on my show. Then the next day, the arrests took place, and he's there, and he's jumping fences, and he's running. This guy's got so much energy, and he knows everybody. He's got real contacts inside, I think, the Riverside Sheriff's Department, with some, he's getting information, and all the information is panning out, and he ends up being in the right place at the right time. When he shows up, law enforcement knows who he is, etc. But he's going through chemo. He hadn't eaten all day. You're in the desert. You're jumping fences. You're running the adrenaline, and then, but he's okay. He's okay. I think he even went live from the back of the EMT. So it's just amazing. Thank you, Nana Pam, for reminding me of that. Oh, this is interesting from Pier 6976. Are you a DJ too? I just see the headphones. The dry desert air could be better for preservation. The heat, though, the heat. Yeah, Florida is like the worst, right? Florida is like the worst. You have the heat, the humidity, the torrential rains, all of that. Plus, you have all the critters there. But this is bad too, though, because the extreme heat is bad. The dry air may help somewhat, but then the coyotes. Oh, Nick 0441 is really trying to steer me off into a whole separate live stream tonight, but I'm not going to do that. But yeah, you could agree. Like, we all saw the case. Although if you watched on TV, you didn't see what I saw, which was, to me, one of the most compelling pieces of evidence. You may have seen it online, but I saw it. The Kaylee's skull, when they lifted it up, and the duct tape with her hair in it covering this part of the skull. Like, to me, that was compelling. Like, there are no accidents involving duct tape and children. It just doesn't happen that way. But everyone's got their opinion. I have mine. You all probably know what it is. But thank you, Nick, for joining in the conversation. All right. Why are people saying he's being found for views? Says Shady Landme. No, I think if you have a situation, I think why people are saying he's been found is because he was there and they were there. So, like, they found the spot where his remains were left. So everyone, I think, presumed and assumed it would be quick and easy to find him. It's turning out that it's not quick, and it's not necessarily going to be easy. So I think, people thought that it was imminent, that it was, in the moment. Like, okay, like, if you dumped a body somewhere and now you're taking investigators there, and you have all these investigators there, like, yeah, I'm going to show you where we left the baby. A couple of things could be at play. He may not know exactly where it was. It was a month ago. It could have been in the dark. Maybe the baby wasn't deposited underground and coyotes came, right? And nothing is where it once was, or he just forgot, or he can't precisely remember. It's very possible. How well does he know this area? And the biggest thing, timeline, when was this? Was this possibly a month or more ago, which is possible? All right. I'm still 20 minutes behind, so I gotta cruise. I gotta move faster. James 237, Vinny, they literally fed their infant to the wolves, vultures, rats, and other wildlife. Prison forever. Yeah, I think that's the problem California has right now is they have the D-pen, but they don't use it. So as a prosecutor, you can seek it. And it can be the sentence, but there's a moratorium on it being carried out. And like, I don't think anyone in California fears it anymore. They don't fear the D-pen. So it's not the only chip that you could play. I think it'd have to be a bigger chip in California. But I'm not sure what the nature of the agreement would be at this point. I really feel like there would be a contingency hanging on it. And one of the big contingencies is recovery of the body, and then the recovery of evidence related to the body that can help them confirm his story. What may happen tomorrow, too, is does she have a lawyer already? When she gets a lawyer, is she now going to go to them with a story and point the finger the other way? And that's when you're caught in a tough spot as a prosecutor, because if it's two completely different versions of what happened, both of them cannot be true. Do you really want to give a deal to the first person if the first person is lying? Should they really get the deal? This is going to get, there's going to be some nuance here because it's co-defendants and because we know his history and because apparently she did an interview this morning, still sticking to her guns. But if that was an interview, I guess it was a TV interview or a live stream interview with someone. Because if it was an interview with investigators, I don't think we would have heard what was said in all of that. So, all right, I got to keep scrolling. I want to get current here. Aurelio Doc, is substantial evidence alone enough to secure a conviction? Okay. Now here's the thing about securing a conviction. It's like substantial evidence is a term that could mean different things to different people. We know what the level of proof is beyond a reasonable doubt. And where could reasonable doubt lie in a case like this? It can lie in a lot of places. If you're trying to prove red rum, which is you need proof that something happened to that child. Otherwise, it's going to be difficult to prove that to a jury if there is an alternative argument by the defense that it was an accident. So if you have blood, for instance, blood evidence, huge. Substantial is enough. Circumstantial evidence is enough. The circumstances surrounding everything, which can include this big lie. The big lie that they told about Ola Man is evidence. But they could successfully argue that the Ola man story was a result of being afraid of what would happen to Jake, that no one would believe him, that he would go to prison because of his history with little babies. And they concocted this to cover up an accident. And the prosecution in the Kaylee Marie Anthony case, her mother was on trial. The prosecution argued, you don't cover up an accident and make it look like red rum. But the jury didn't buy it. So that's why prosecutors have to be very, very careful. And if you've got someone who's cooperating, you're probably going to accept that cooperation. Because they wouldn't be here on the side of Freeway 66 without this guy. He's the one that told him to go there. He is the one. Thank you, Ariel, Doc. I hope that answers the question in a roundabout way. I'm trying. I am trying. All right. Again, I'm trying now to get current. I'm getting closer, scrolling, but we've got a lot of comments. Emma Michi 0403. Thank you so much. I saw the parents in Riverside County last Thursday, and they walked without a care in the world, it seemed. So very heartbreaking. Oh my goodness. Without it, is this last Thursday? So you're talking about the Thursday before this Thursday? Or was this after the child was made public? Either scenario is troubling because it's clear that something happened to that child before this past Thursday or the Thursday before. Walking without a care in the world. Could you can't imagine. That's the whole thing. None of us can imagine acting this way. None of us can imagine that. It's difficult to get inside the head of a psychopath. It's difficult to get inside the head of someone who's a sociopath. Or someone who just doesn't have that feel. Like, how do you do anything other than love a baby? Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Now, I do know postpartum, I don't know it personally. I've covered stories about it. I've listened to experts talk about it. Like, I get that exists. I'm looking at this right now from my perspective, a father's perspective. How do you do anything other than love your child, your daughter, your son, your little girl, your little boy? Wow. And then if something did happen, how could you do anything? How could you like live your life in any normal way? How would you not just admit whatever you did and say, do whatever you need to do to me? I let down that child. Wow. None of us can imagine it. That's the problem. Aurelio, Doc, thank you. I noticed they don't even have many pictures of baby Emmanuel. No doubt that the father did something to that baby and the mother's covering it up. Have their other kids witnessed anything? Right? All those kids have been removed. So I wonder if whoever's in charge of the kids who are old enough, who may have witnessed something, will they be permitted to speak to investigators? A mother covering it up for him. That is going to change. That'll change tomorrow or the next day, whenever she has a lawyer. Once she gets word of this happening, once she gets word that this happened, once she gets word that this happened, there's no way she's going to continue to cover up for him, because now the story's done. Ola is over. Ola has left the building. Ola has left the building. So whatever she said this morning in that interview, that's the last time you're going to hear it from her. That's the last time. All right. Okay. JJK 723 W8H. Thank you. That sounds like a secret code. JJK 723 W8H. Do you read me? Could it be possible that the investigators told Jake that Rebecca confessed just to trick him into talk? Yeah, you can do that. You could absolutely do that. You do not have to tell him the truth. But you'd have to tell that to his lawyer. He has a lawyer. So the interrogation doesn't happen without the blessings of the lawyer. That's like if it was just like, boom, they're arrested and boom, they're out there. That's one thing. Vincent Hughes is representing Jake Harrow. Fruit of the poisonous tree. You speak to someone and you violate their constitutional rights in a situation. They're represented by counsel and you just start interrogating them. Anything he says can't be used, and anything you find as a result of what he says can't be used. So that's not happening. I mean, that's like prosecutor or investigator 101. Although we've seen things happen in the past. Nancy Brace 1233. Buy the merch. So fun. Love you, Vinny. Awesome. So you can see how far behind I am. But thank you, Nancy Brace. What a great handle. All right. Gringa L. The baby will not be found. It can only hurt him. Now, yeah, it's going to come back to bite him big time. Investigators, prosecutors will not like, being misled at this point. You can't do it. And I mean, if you are, it's insanity. What we don't know is what was the status of baby Emmanuel? How was he deposited where he was left? Was he underground? Was he above ground? Was he wrapped? Was he unwrapped? Was he clothed? Was he unclothed? I'm going to say it, but I wish I didn't have to. Was he whole or in pieces? It's brutal. That you even have to think that or consider that, but that is part of it. And that would impact the ability to find him. And depending upon what that situation is, in addition to the timeline, which many believe is at least a month, Okay, this is fascinating. Okay. Sharon Hat 9399. Okay. This is beautiful, Sharon. Thank you so much for the great picture and for this comment. This is borderline stuff. So what you're saying here, Jake not cooperating, Jake not talking, but they decide to bring him out to a random place and make a public spectacle of all this to get Rebecca to talk. Wow. I love it. I absolutely love it. Could you do that? Okay, let's look at this. Let's look at the official word. All right, I'll make it bigger. This afternoon, a search for Emmanuel Harrow was conducted. All right. Investigators were assisted by cadaver dogs. So they're stating facts here. Jake Harrow was at the location with detectives. Period. Think about that. Here's the problem, though. That would be amazing, right? You make this entire spectacle based upon a random location, and now she's going to get wind of it, so she's going to jump forward to cooperate, and you'll get the truth from her, right? And I don't know how sophisticated they are. I don't think they're very sophisticated. I think investigators are, but I don't think the two defendants are. If Rebecca knows the truth, and this is a random place, she'd be saying, why would he take them out to the 60 freeway? Why would he take them there? That's not where the baby is. That's not where the baby is. Maybe she would think that he's playing games with them, but she wouldn't be concerned about the baby being found. So she could then stick to Ola Man. Because I guess you could possibly, as a ruse, as long as you don't talk to him, bring him out, dog and pony show, get her to chat. But would she be motivated to do so if they went to a random place that was not connected to the disappearance of Emmanuel? Maybe, maybe not. I love the way you're thinking, though, Sharon. I love the way you're thinking. That's why the chat is so valuable. Because we only know what they tell us. And they didn't tell us much. They told us a lot, but not a lot today. How was that? 1, 2, 3, 5 sentences. 5 sentences, specifically vague. And Luna Plata thinks, 4726, I think Jake is trying to send police on a wild goose chase. By himself, he might, but with a lawyer, would you? Because that's not going to end well for you. That's not going to end well for you. Just me, 1221. True crime merch song has me cracking up. A little behind in the stream. Just me, 1221. Yep. Interesting. Very interesting. By the way, welcome to the live stream. We're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. 9,000 folks collectively watching tonight. Please hit the like, share it, subscribe, do all the things that help us so I can continue to jump on and do these and do all the fun things that we're attempting to do. Like we'll be at Crime Con. And if you're at Crime Con, make sure you come by the Tangent Creator Row and the Court TV booth. Track me down. Also be doing my show live from Crime Con, I believe. I believe we're doing the show live. That'll be amazing. Jody Erdy, did nobody see this guy wearing a hoodie on the interview? Seemed very odd. It did, because it's really hot there. But then I looked at this picture. All these folks are wearing long sleeves too in the heat. I guess protecting themselves from the sun. I don't know. I don't live in the desert. You tell me how you dress in the desert. Thank you, Jody. I don't know how you dress in the desert. All right. I'm trying to catch up. Solo Angel Mom. Thank you for being an angel mom. I knew when they had babies age 7 months instead of 9. I'm not following everything, but I'll leave it up there for a second, see if it sinks in. I knew when they had babies age. Thank you, Solo Angel Mom. Cat Fab. Why hasn't Mom rolled on him yet? Why is she afraid? Has she been arraigned yet? Does she have a lawyer yet? I don't know how it works out there. Like having a private lawyer, you can get very quickly. My guess is she's not going to have a private lawyer. My guess is he's going to have the private lawyer. She's going to have a public defender. and she'll probably have the public defender in her first court appearance. That's my guess. And the reason why she hasn't rolled yet is she's like sticking to the story. She probably didn't find out till today or at some point today that he apparently is cooperating. So, but he had a pre-existing lawyer, right? From his other case and was scheduled to be in court, I think, on his probation. Mm-hmm. All right. Mom of three blessings. Hopefully this isn't part of a plan, like for a crazy defense, like my cousin Vinny type thing. Point fingers at each other to make it harder for them to get convicted. Listen, my cousin Vinny, they were innocent. Like they didn't do it. So they can't replicate the my cousin Vinny defense because it was a legitimate defense because Ralph Macchio and his cousin or his friend did not do it. They were factually innocent. And my cousin Vinny finally was able to bring that out through expert testimony, kind of like his own version of ACA. Marissa Tomei was my cousin Vinny's ACA expert. Thank you, Mom of three. But yeah, it could be part of a crazy bonkers defense. I can't put the pieces together on the fly here yet. How, in any way, if he's lying, how this could help him. I don't know how lying could help him or how he thinks it could help him. This is another question that I've had as well. Thank you. You Woo Accountant. You Woo Accountant 6217. Did baby Emmanuel even go to the pediatrician? My guess is probably no. But we don't know. My guess is no, but we don't know. Victoria Freeman, they've already been charged with murder, first degree. Yes, but that's the arresting charge. The DA then has to decide. They don't do grand juries in California, but we'll do like a true bill or something. They'll file an information. Information hasn't been filed. That'll be the final charges when the DA does an information. That hasn't happened yet. Weedy 2331. I always forget how much of a nerd Vinny is when I don't watch the lives. Nerd alert. Thank you for watching tonight. All right. I'm getting closer. Thank you, Krieg Saint 3398. Krieg Saint, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. All right. AIM 402, thank you so much. All right. Almost current. I'm only about 10 minutes behind. Krieg saying 3398. What about the fire set across the street from their house last week? Do you think that was a coincidence? Yes, I think it was a coincidence. I don't think it's connected. But if it is, that'll be an easy one for investigators to connect. But I don't think it is in fact connected. But we'll see. If it is, it's an easy piece to put together. Especially, I think they have a suspect for that as well. And it was, I think, a mobile home that was across the street. Amy 402 or AIM 402. I hope the parents weren't renting the baby for drugs. If so, it may have just gone terribly wrong and they had to get rid of the evidence. Wow. At 7 months? Wow. That would be so warped, so twisted. Hillbilly Belinda. Law enforcement could have cell phone data showing they were there. So is Hillbilly Belinda saying that it wasn't Jake, it was the cell phone data, or is the cell phone data confirming something? Or did they say, we've got the cell phone data, we're going to go there, show us. Show us. Could be. I mean, they voluntarily gave up their phones, according to Vincent Hughes, along with passwords. So, yeah. Kickoff 23. Maybe that's why Tito was there too. The detectives had some tricks up their sleeves. I was wondering why they let Tira be there so freely. So we'll show you Tira, but if you watch where he is, he's on the side of the road.
Today, it has now lived up. The California Highway Patrol is here. The investigators are here. We got more police throughout here, right along Gilman Springs Road. Jake was here. He confessed. We already had the story that Jake had confessed, but we were waiting for this to break, and now we have footage 1080. Ahmed Belloso, we have found Emmanuel, homie. Lands at this.
So he's on the side of the road there. So you're allowed to be on the side of the road. It's a public highway. You know, parking on the side there, I guess if there's an area you can pull off, and let's see, it does look like there's a spot where anyone can pull off legally and stop your car and end up over there. I think he has a good relationship with them and gets inside information. And I also think they know him, and you know, I think they probably like him, right? They probably like him. Seems to be a likable guy. Robert L.A. with a super sticker. Thank you, Robert. Robert. Is that what it is? Like Robert? Like you're from the East Coast, but you're in L.A.? Robert. Thank you so much. Great picture. Nice doggy there. All right. So many great comments. I'm trying to get all the way. I'm about 5 minutes behind right now. All right. Adelita Alejandro, 8782. Thank you. Adelita Alejandro, 8782. I think I got that right. I never took Spanish, so. Happy Days, 7857. My cousin Vinny, how can you remember that plot? I seen it once and forgot. Only once? Like the greatest legal movie ever made? And actually, they got a ton of things right in My Cousin Vinny. And there is a professor, I forgot what law school, who teaches a class based upon the lessons learned from My Cousin Vinny. It's called Discovery. He has to give it to you. All right. Suzanne Harrelson Kenny, can't find you on YouTube, and I'm a subscriber there. Okay, you want to find me on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, it's my name, Vinny Politan with the number 1. Vinny Politan with the number 1. At Vinny Politan, number 1. My name, VINNIE, POLITAN with the number 1. I am sure the mods will put the link in the chat. I love the way on the Tira says, enters the chat. It's like, and California PD has entered the chat. Suzanne has entered the chat. He's so good. Let's see. Are they going to have a presser? They haven't had a presser, and it may just be the way they operate. Every sheriff does things differently, and they have not. And it's probably because it's still an ongoing investigation, but they did make the arrest. A lot of times after the arrest, we get it. Maybe they're waiting for the DA to file an information, but maybe then it'll be too late. Maybe it'll be when they recover, if they recover Emmanuel. Because we cover stories. I cover stories and trials from all over the country, and the standards and practices are so different, state to state, sheriff to sheriff, jurisdiction to jurisdiction. Heidi Zip, 6587. They need to check when the last time they bought formula and diapers. I feel like that would give a good timeline to go off of. That's great, their history, right? That is, that could help build a timeline. But if you've got cooperation, that's how you should really get this timeline done. And that's the whole point of a cooperating witness is you know certain things, but you have these gaps that you need to fill in. And that's where the cooperating witness fills it in, so you know the whole story that you can tell to the jury when the other one goes to trial. But who's the primary bad actor here? That's the question. I think that's, the DA's got to be very, very open-minded and aware when one of these parties, especially him, is the one cooperating. David Ferriello, thank you. David Ferriello, 580. It seems so. Nobody has found birth records on this baby. Home birth, very possible, right? That's how they did it back in the old days. One of my uncles was born at home years ago. Right. And then there's but my grandparents, they did the records, but if there's no records of the child ever existing. If there's no records of the baby, would you do the whole dog and pony show with Ola Man? I guess you could if people knew you had a baby. It's kind of weird, right? Like the trial could be about did they or did they not have a baby, right? But enough people would have known. But that's a strange fact in all of this, right? Thank you to Daphne Lansborough, 3663. Do you think Wendy Adelson is going to be charged? Completely different case. The Red Rum for Hire of Dan Markel, Wendy Adelson. My answer, yes. Yes, I believe Wendy Adelson is going to be charged. Prosecutors have been extremely patient. They've needed Wendy to prosecute everyone in the first 4 trials now. To get the evidence in that they want in, they needed her testimony. You charge her, you can't make her get up on the stand. She's not charged. You subpoena her. You give her use immunity and derivative use immunity, meaning they can't use what she says. They can't use anything that they get as a result of what she says against her. But I believe if they convict Donna, or if Donna's found not guilty, Wendy will be next. Next. Thank you. Daphne Lansborough, 3663. All right. Let's continue. I'm almost current. Patty Lyons, 7517. How did she really get that black eye? Right? Here's the other part of the black eye. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. I haven't heard anywhere where she claimed the black eye was from Ola Man. I know I presumed it. I presumed that was part of the story. But at any point, I never heard her say, he attacked me and I hit my eye. Like I didn't hear that anywhere. But how did she really get the black eye? will her story be when and if she cooperates, that she's the victim of abuse? He's the bad guy. He did everything. I covered up for him because I loved him. Or I covered up for him because I was afraid of him. I know what he's capable of. And if they go to trial and she never cooperates and he cooperates and he testifies against her, that will be the defense. The black eye came from him. I am a victim. The baby was a victim, and I was scared to death of him. But that question needs to be answered. Thank you, Patty. Christy Donnelly, 3798, watching from Australia. Thank you. What time is it in Australia? What day is it in Australia? Do I even know? No, I have no idea, no clue. But it is on my list to someday get down there. Someday, maybe the next 5 years, I want to get down there. Oh, my goodness. Cynthia Menes Kale, Vinny Politan, Court TV. She squatted that baby out. No doctors. Wow. Yeah. I mean, you can do it. I mean, that's how cave people did it, right? And other people, you can do it. In an emergency, you can do it that way. Maybe you choose to do it that way. All right. DKG be on a roll tonight. The two Utes. Yeah, the two Utes were factually innocent in that case. Factually innocent. Their alleged confession was, and he said, I asked him, did you shoot the clerk? And he said, I shot the clerk. What he really said was, I shot the clerk? See? That's why you need cameras. Every interrogation needs to be videotaped or video recorded. That should be automatic. I've been saying that for years. I am current. Oh, by the way, if we take a look at this, these photos here, these are the mugshot pictures. And it looks like two black eyes. So what happened? What happened inside that house? What was going on in that house? What was going on in that house? What the heck was going on in that house? All right, I'll give you I've had it up for a long time, but the latest. This was from the sheriff. This afternoon, a search for Emmanuel Harrow was conducted along the westbound shoulder of the 60 freeway near Gilman Springs Road in Moreno Valley. Investigators were assisted by cadaver dogs. Jake Harrow was at the location with detectives. The search has concluded and Emmanuel was not located. The investigation to find Emmanuel continues. Will they continue the search in that location? I have to think they will. They weren't there accidentally. He was there. We're presuming he gave up that location. The search team, like there were people there, but you could have a much larger search team as well tomorrow. Oh, Tammy Sloan, 3435, or Tammy's Loan. I'm here too from Eastern Kentucky. Oh, that sheriff and judge case. Woo-wee on that one. We'll do a stream on that down the road. Great to see you, Tammy. All right, folks, if you're just joining us, we got over 9,000 watching right now on my Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and X. Please like, subscribe, and do all that. Get her done. All right. Kelly can't get right. Have you seen the bunker case in Alabama? Needs attention. Bunker, is that another missing child? Let me see. Something pops up. Oh, wow. Oh, the underground bunkers in Alabama. Yes, I remember this story. I remember that story when it happened. That was years ago. The bunkers. I think I was at HLN when we covered that story. All right. Well, I'll take a look. Is something happening new on that? I'll take a look at it, of course. I'll take a look at it. Of course, of course, of course.
We are the Mod Squad.
Oh, I wanted to.
Keeping order in
There we go. Wanted to thank the Mod Squad. We premiered the Mod Squad new song tonight, but I wanted you to say thank you to the Mod working hard on a Sunday night. Like Sunday night, all of a sudden they get a text from me. Hey, I'm going live. They're like, okay, we'll be there. And they're there. That's what they do for you folks and for me. Amazing. Thank you to the Mod Squad. All right. All right. Sandy Raskin, 7867. She needs to confess. She's either firsthand or accomplice. Now, accomplice after the fact in a cover up, clearly, like them standing there and saying that stuff puts them both in it. But to what degree is each in it? There's the before and there's the after. There's the actual act that ended the life of Emmanuel. What was it? What was it that ended his life? Personally, if it's done with purposeful conduct like rage, shaking, discipline. Who disciplines a 7-month-old? Like, that's ridiculous. But if it's anything like that, it's one person responsible, but two together covering it up, right? If it's conduct that is accidental, like, I'm not saying it's not criminal, but the mens rea, the mindset of the defendant is different. Like, they didn't intend harm. They didn't intend that to happen. A dropping, passing out on drugs and something happens. Any sort of behavior like that, the baby somehow infected with drugs. I don't know. Some conduct where the conduct is done on purpose, but the harm to the baby is not intended. That is something less than first degree, right? Then both could be responsible for his death under those circumstances. But everybody's saying, but the blood, but the blood, but the blood. Is the blood pre or post-mortem? Pre or post-mortem, the blood. Okay, people are saying there's a new addition to the Alabama case, which is the bib. Yeah, that's pretty sick. The Bibb County trafficking. By the way, you won't ever see that trial because it's in Alabama. They don't let cameras in there. Although we did get one in recently. It was like out of the blue. but generally they don't. We shall see. All right, let me get back on some of these comments. Branda Martin, 9030. I live in Moreno Valley, and they haven't found the baby. I highly doubt they will. We have a lot of coyotes in the area. So if they threw the baby out there, they definitely knew what he was doing. Yeah. Right? So was there a grave or not? Big part of it. Now, if the coyotes get them, the coyotes, my guess is, are not going to just stay there. They'll grab and go, and you'll end up somewhere else. Or, I mean, all the thoughts, I don't even want to get those images in my mind. But I think you're correct, Branda. The coyotes would, if the child is just left out there, or if the child was in pieces. Yeah. It's problematic. Were there clothes? Would there be some opportunity to find clothes that would have some evidential value? DNA, blood, something. Thank you so much, by the way. Thank you so much, Brandon Martin. Kristen Kelly Sue Cockatoo. This morning, she was still stating Jake is a good father and would never hurt Emmanuel. She's still sticking to her story about Ola man. She is standing by her man. That was this morning. This search was in the afternoon. Game changer. Game changer. Great picture. K Chick 92. Why didn't CPS keep up with Jake's whereabouts? Well, he didn't have custody of that child. So CPS wouldn't. CPS will follow the child. CPS won't follow a non-custodial parent. So there we go. Thank you, K-Chick. Shauna 5729, Ola has left the building without the baby. Exactly. Kathy Franz, you are appreciated. Oh, great picture. You are appreciated, Vinny. Thanks for all the intel. Ashley Bouchard, one of our mods over on Facebook. He should have never been free after what he did to his daughter. The system failed the baby boy. I mean, you talk about slap on the wrist. Slap on the wrist. Poke Nate 86, I think she shook the baby or something, went too far, and she got the black eye for what happened to the baby. Interesting. Mom's responsible. The cover up is to cover up her. And he was angry about it and went after her for what happened to the baby, but still continued to want to be with her and continue the relationship and cover it up together. Which would explain why she was so animate about him being such a good father, because she doesn't want him to inform on her. Like, anything's possible. I get it. I get it. Adele Phi or Adele Fee, he wasn't found. No, not found. Not found. Here's the official report. KTLA was reporting it early, and then the sheriff confirmed the search has concluded. I'm just wondering what the concluded search means. Concluded for the day, or are they going back to that location? Because I've never seen a suspect at a location and investigators giving up on the location that quickly. A half a day search. I couldn't imagine that. Valerie Mortensen, can someone have Vinny answer my question? All right, Valerie, I'm going to scroll backwards to try to find your question. Or maybe repost the question because I have not. See, when you put that, you should put the question in there. Now I don't know what the question is. Valerie, I want to know your question. I'm looking for Valerie's question. It's the mystery of the missing question. Let's see. All right. Ooh, true crime gene. You know these stories. Daddy wanted to feel the trip in exchange for the DP removed. Ted Bundy played these same games. Yeah, but I think it's a different mind than Ted Bundy. And this is co-defendants, so it's a different scenario. But it wouldn't. I mean, nothing's off the table in my mind. He's not trustworthy by any means. You've got to. That's why I say prosecutors may have, if they did provide something to this defendant, it has to be contingent. They can't take him at his word and lay the deal out. It has to be contingent because they're not going to trust this guy. No way are they going to trust this guy. But thank you, True. What is it? True. Oh, I lost the name. Sorry. True. There we go. True Crime Gene. Genie. Johnny Knoxville is back, looking sharp. Vinny, I've missed your last few lives. Hope your vacation was great. Getting ready to drive up to Maine from North Carolina for vacation. Going up to Maine to cool off and maybe have what? Some lobster. You can have a lobster? I love a lobster roll. I love a lobster roll. All right, enjoy it, Johnny. Thank you so much. Texas Heart, thoughts on postpartum and impact of a clicky baby. Clingy baby or clicky baby? What's a clicky baby? Let me see if a clicky baby is a thing. I don't know if that's a clicky baby or you said clingy. Clicky. Is it normal for a baby to be clicky? Making clicking sounds, feeding. Could play a role, whether it's an actual role or a role in a potential defense. Because anytime you have a mom accused of doing this to a baby, one of the defenses, unless it's accident, right? If it's outside of accident, is going to be a mental defense. Thank you, Texas Heart. But I think it may be a part of the case, potentially. It depends how the facts sort of bear out here on what they can prove about how baby Emmanuel was harmed. But if there is evidence that is somehow corroborated with physical evidence that it was mom, and acting out in that way, I think this is exactly where they're going to go. Thank you, Texas. Mevaha. Question, Vinny. Who do you think will throw the one under the bus first? He will. I think he did already. I personally think he did already. But I think he's the one. Suzanne Harrelson Kenny. Great photo. Is that from the Johnny Depp trial? Is that an alpaca? Could they separate the trials like they did the Daybells? Separate trials depends upon a couple of things. Prosecutors can choose to do them separately if they want, most of the time. Generally, they want them together. But if there are statements made by one that implicate the other, then you have to separate them. Because you can't use hearsay against a party. You can use a statement that they make against them, but you can't use a statement they make against their co-defendant. You follow me? So that's a conflict. The defense can also make a motion to have separate trials if they want. Prosecutors can choose to do it. So we'll see how that plays out. That's something that'll be litigated down the road. That's a down the road litigation. But a good question, Suzanne. Thank you. Colicky, not clicky. Colicky. Why didn't I figure that out? Thank you, Kristen Michelle. Colicky. Yeah, it's definitely colicky. Colicky. A lot of colicky posts. Thank you. Everybody's telling me colicky. No, Gringa, I am not trolling. Honestly, not trolling. It is 10:30 on a Sunday. Okay? It is 10:30 on a Sunday night. Clicky, colicky. I needed to buy a vowel. But why would it, usually it's the autocorrect that messes things up. I was thinking clingy. Like a clingy baby, but it's colicky. Got it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hillbilly Belinda. I get it. Tinfoil hat theory. They have proof the parents were in the area. They take Jake out there for whatever reason they told him. So it is the correct area. They don't talk to Jake. They just take him there, put on the dog and pony show. Mom is going to think that Jake is the one telling, not the cell phone data, and then she spills the beans. That's not crazy. That's not crazy. I don't think that's tinfoil hat. I think that'd be genius if they did that. Everybody's posting colicky. Glenda Mezzacapo. The super sticker. Thank you, Glenda, on this Sunday. I hope you had your Sunday sauce or your Sunday gravy today. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. All right. I am Holly Christine. She was abused and a survivor She was abused, and as a survivor myself, I lied for my abuser in fear of my and my family's lives. That could explain the black eyes. Prosecutors have to be very careful in assessing cooperation by this convicted baby abuser. They have to be really careful, and I'm sure they will be. Holly, so sorry. Glad that you're a survivor. Sorry what happened to you, and thank you for sharing that. You know, you have to be brave to be able. You have to be brave and strong to share stuff like that. So we appreciate it. Patty Lyons, 7517. Talk to the child that was playing ball. Did he see anything? Yep. Whoa. All right. Thank you, Patty Lyons. Yeah. That's inside information as someone in the household, right? Spicy Demure, Vinny, please read Jake Harrell's booking information. No longer has the murder charge listed. It's gone. Very strange. That's extremely strange. It's going to take a little bit of time for me to go there and put that up on the screen right now. So I will not be doing that. Let me just check here. Okay. I got a text about the bunker case. I think I've covered the bunker case, but thank you so much to let me make that bigger. Kelly can't get right. Kelly can't get right. Where am I here? Here we go. Kelly can't get right. Thank you, Kelly can't get right. Have you seen the bunker case in Alabama? Needs attention. All right. We'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at it. We will take a look at that. Thank you so much. That was a super chat. Sorry, I missed it. I think I missed it on the way. All right, K-Chick92, hi from Jersey. I'm a new one here, loving your coverage. You're new. You got to learn the rules. Rule number 1, if you're from Jersey, post with your exit number, please. Post with your exit number, because you know I'm from Jersey too. Exit 145 off the GSP, 15W on the Turnpike. All right. Thank you, K-Chick from Jersey. All right. Frankie Figs, a.k.a. I texted him, told him he missed your super chat. You want him to know about the case. He hasn't looked at it yet. Just did. See? The Mod Squad on the job. Mod Squad on the job. Dragonfly Lady, hasn't Jake's court date and charges been removed from his booking information? Fascinating, right? Fascinating. I got to take a look at it. Oh, here we go. To the dude going to Maine, Taste of Maine has the biggest lobster rolls. Andy's Pub in Old Port for lobster stew and pack for all 4 seasons, but it's still hot. It's hot, then it's cold, and it's warm. That's amazing. And Phil DeSena, Vinny Politan just shared. Vinny, you are the best. I've been watching you for years at Court TV and on here. This case is so heartbreaking and sad. Love you. No, this is a bad one. This is a bad one. This is a rough one. This is not a good one. Let's go here. We get the picture up there. Here we go. Janice Schwabens. I'm Italian. Never heard it called gravy. Well, if you're from New Jersey, that's the big debate. You got the sauce people versus the gravy people. I don't have time today, but yeah, they call the Sunday sauce the gravy. I tend to think the difference is the gravy has the meat and the bones in it. All right. Shirley H., can you please answer my question, Vinny? I would if you put, can you answer my question, then put the question underneath it? I got to try to find it. I don't know if I can find it. There's so many comments tonight, and thank you all for participating. If I miss a super chat or I miss your question, I apologize. Heidi Zip, 65, 87. I'm a survivor too, and now mother. That's no excuse. Wow. There are some great comments here. Carolina Hurtado, 6634. Jake Harrow, malice murder charges no longer. He made a deal. He made a deal. Well, it's a circumstantial argument that he made a deal. A circumstantial argument. Kristen Kelly, Sue Cockatoo. Vinny, did you deliver some of your evidence bags to the Canton PD like I suggested? Oh, by the way, let me show you those evidence bags. We got some right here. We got the, there we go. Evidence bag. And with the Tangent Boys on the flip side. Yeah, you're going to have a chance to get one of these out at CrimeCon if you come by Creator Row and find us. Yeah, I can't get onto the booking information right now. That's going to require a little bit of time here at 10:40. By the way, working overtime right now. All right. Hot Mess Southern Mom, 4542. My two faves are Vinny and Ashley Banfield. Well, that puts me in very good company. She's a Court TV alum. She's worked a lot of other places too. Oh, okay. Ashley, I texted you. Oh, the Mod Squad again. Let me find it. All right. We will get it on the screen in a moment. Give me a moment. This is much easier to do this way. Wait a minute. I know how I got to do this. 1 second. See, no matter what, it's going to take time. Even with help, it takes time. Thank you, Ashley. All right. Done. Boop, bop, beep, bop, boop, bop, beep. Now I got to send this over here. Send this over here, click, bop, 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 bop. Someday we will have live help with our screen here. Someday. Not yet, though. My son's upstairs. He should be doing it, but he's sleeping. He's got school tomorrow. He's got school. All right. Let me... Let me now put it up on the screen so we can see what all the hubbub is about here. All the hubbub and ballyhoo. See how this takes clicks. I got to point. I got to click. I got to go here. I got to go here. I got to go here, here, click, bang, boom. Oh, wait, first. Is this it? Oh, now I've got to. Here, boom. All right. Thank you, Ashley. And now let's make it larger. Okay. Let me see something. See something, say something. Let me see something. I want to compare this to what it looked like before. No. I was working on another project today. All right, that's that. Let me find something. See, now this is it. I'm trying. All right. Age 32, 5'10", 270. Gives the address, date, time, release date, next court date, nothing scheduled. Did it always look like that is the question. Let me go over here because I did look at that before. 1 second. We're now uncovering a mystery here. Oh, this is Rebecca's. All right, I'm going to show y'all something now here. Sorry for the delay here, but I'm going to show you something, and then we're going to try to figure this out. All right, back. All right, this is going to be very interesting. This is going to be very, very interesting what I'm about to do here. I have to get rid of something else. I can remove this from the studio. And now I'm going to add, nope, 1 second. Image file. Almost there. It's like you're watching me work. Where is this? Q. All right. Now let's do this. Let me. I gotta get rid of something. There we go. Dun 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 dun. No. Cancel. All right, I can't do this. All right. So this is for Rebecca. It's very similar. There's no red rum on this one either. Jake, Rebecca. Jake, Rebecca. Has anything really been removed? Did anyone see it on there? Because it's not on Rebecca's. Jake. It's not on Rebecca's either. So what does that tell you? Is there any difference? I'm trying to put them next to each other, but that's going to require something I can't necessarily do right now. Yeah. Let me try this. Add an item. Oh, you can only put one media at a time on this. Okay. Now that makes sense. All right. But this is Jake's. This is Rebecca's. Is there any difference? Neither one of them contains red rum. So I don't know. If that's what we're talking about, then I don't know if anything has changed. I don't think anything has changed. Right? Yeah, this is great. Vinny, your eyes look extremely tired, my friend. You think at 10:50 on a Sunday night? Probably. Yeah, we are going to have to shut this down soon, right? All right. So, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Oh, okay. There we go. So they were there before. Okay. Okay. I'm not going to put it up there, but there was a difference. Okay, we got it. All right. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. We get to the last few comments here before we got to wrap things up on this late Sunday. Vinny, thank you for always advocating for victims. D Channel 14. Thank you, D. Thank you, D. Cindy Vance, 72. Thank you for making this baby a priority when the parents did not. I think all of us have done that. I think all of us have done that. And Sandra Herbert, 4072. There's different facilities listed. Is there a male and female facility? I don't know. Male and female facilities. I don't know. Sometimes it's separate facilities. Sometimes within a facility, there's different sections. I am not familiar. I just looked at Rebecca. It's there. Okay, fantastic. So it must have been added from the time that we first got that. That shot I had of Rebecca was from when she was first booked. Mm-hmm. Someone said Jake was moved yesterday. Cake tails and convos. Cake tails and convos. I like that. See how I said sand instead of making cake tail plural. All right. Gen X, we love Sunday Night Vinny. Thank you so much. So before I go, those of you joining for the first time, I've never been here before. At the end of my live streams, we play a little game where you have to, you can't guess yes. You have to guess my blood sugar because I'm type 1 diabetic. And each quarter, we give out some stuff from the True Crime merch shop. Whoever, and I think we've got someone who's got 2 wins already this quarter. So we shall see. Don't start guessing yet until the song is, so you just guess the number. Ready, go.
Here's the type 1. He's type 1. His pancreas is on first. He has diabetes, type 1 juvenile diabetes. And so it's time to guess, is more or less. What's his blood sugar? What's Vinny's blood sugar? Under 70, he gets lightheaded. Under 60, all the alarms start ringing. Over 180, he starts to get lethargic. But when it's 90, Vinny, eyes are singing. And so it's time to guess, is it more or less? What's his blood sugar? What's Vinny's blood sugar? But take a guess. Yes,
All
take
right.
a guess. Let's
Write it
guess
down.
Vinny's blood sugar now.
Idle Pine 89 got the correct number. It's a 90, was a 98 as we speak on this, the 24th of October. I am writing it down. So keep watching. At the end of each quarter, whoever guesses it correctly the most time is the winner for the quarter. And then you go over to the True Crime merch shop and pick out whatever you would like. Now, some of you may have guessed 98 and I announced it after you posted it, but I'm always behind in the chat. So this is the first person who posted it because I saw there were some other 98s, but they came after Idle Pine 89. So thank you so much. I just want to comment on a few of the guesses here. Oh, wait. Patty Leons wants to know, how can I get that allegedly shirt? You know, how can you get it? You just, time for another spot, I guess. I'll let you know how you can get it in just a second. Where is it? Here we go. How can you get one of these shirts?
And a hoodie, a beach towel and a mug. A new design from Vinny is better than a drug. True crime merch, you know he did it. True crime merch, mark the exhibit. True crime merch, we hate Casey. True crime merch from Vinny originally. Our tangent stuff is great, unlike any others. Buy it now, don't wait. Perfect for all you mothers. True crime merch, allegedly. True crime merch, stepped on a bee. True crime merch, it's not free. True crime merch from Vinny originally.
There it is, folks. The link will be in the chat. You can click on there. You can order it this evening if you would like. And it'll come, it really doesn't take that long. Different colors, all the sizes, whatever you want. I was going to do some new designs tonight, but then breaking news. What are you going to do? All right. Thank you, everyone. And of course, thank you to our incredible, let me get this image 1 second. Yeah, I spent the weekend getting things a little more organized, and then we get all this breaking news. Oh, I know where that is. I know what I'm looking for. Oh, maybe I can't. I got to get rid of these. 1 second. Just trying to do a big finish here, but I have so many things. I've put so many things on during the show. Big thanks to the Mod Squad. Can we hear it for the Mod Squad, folks? Wonderful job. Everybody's working Sunday night. All right. Thanks so much. Don't forget. Oh, we got this. Bill and Agent Real Life, 1990. Oh, you guys been together since 1990. That's awesome. Vinny, we love you on YouTube. You're much funnier. Funny like how? Like, do I amuse you? All right. Thanks so much, Bill. And Agent. Bill and Ag in real life? I don't know. I messed that up somehow. But anyhow, best mods in the biz. Simply the best. Simply the best. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Don't forget, you can watch me tomorrow night, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 2 hours, live true crime on Court TV. Obviously, we'll be talking about baby Emmanuel. We'll be talking about Donna Adelson. There is so much happening right now, so busy. But we'll cover it. 8 to 9 closing arguments, 9 to 10 Vinny Politan investigates. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. Thank you for all the super chats. It is appreciated. Of course, we love the Mod Squad. And I will see you live streaming this week coming up and also on Court TV. As always, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to hug the kids.
Say goodbye. Thank you for watching Vinny Live. We'll be back, but I don't know when. We hope that you will watch again. Vinny Live. It's Vinny Live. Whoa, it's Vinny Live. To our awesome mods. Thank you for those super chats.